once we're connected. You're aware of the charges. It's speeding alleged to have occurred on or about the 30th day of June, correct?
Correct.
And what is your plea to that charge?
It's not guilty.
Very good. Okay. And given the not guilty plea, yeah, we're now live stream. Given the not guilty plea, then the state will call your first witness.
Officer Benjamin Ramsire.
All right, officer, if you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give in the case now in trial is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Midgley, you may begin when you're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Ramsire, could you please state your name and occupation for the court?
Benjamin Ramsire. I'm a motorcycle police officer with the City of College Station Police Department.
All right. And have you had any training to do that job?
Yes, sir.
Specifically involving judging the speed of vehicles,
Yes.
including the use of LiDAR?
Yes.
All right. Officer Ramsire, were you working on June 30th of this year?
Yes, sir, I was.
Do you remember what you were doing that day?
I was doing traffic enforcement as part of the general duties of my position with the traffic unit.
All right. Do you recall encountering an individual by the name of Albert Woodrow Bateman Jr.?
Yes, sir.
All right. Where did you encounter that individual?
On the 500 block of Harvey Mitchell Parkway in College Station.
All right. Was the defendant driving and operating a motor vehicle?
Yes, sir, he was.
All right. What was he driving?
He was driving a black and black and white Dodge pickup.
All right. Do you remember which direction on Harvey Mitchell Parkway he was headed?
He was going southbound on Harvey Mitchell.
And that section of roadway that he was on, what's the posted speed limit on that section?
Currently, it's on a construction zone with a posted speed limit of 45 miles per hour.
All right. And do you recall if there was construction going on at the time you observed him to be traveling at that speed?
Yes, sir. Just south of the position I was sitting was workers and a couple vehicles were right there.
All right. And maybe you've already covered this, but what drew your attention to Mr. Bateman?
So he was pulling away as he was coming southbound. He was pulling away from a group of cars. His vehicle was leaving them and heading faster than the group itself. And so that drew my attention. From there, I estimated his vehicle speed to be about 65 and that 45.
Did you verify that estimate with anything?
Yes, sir. I used my LiDAR to verify it at 67 miles per hour at 1,093 feet.
And that's from where you were sitting?
Yes, sir, from where I was.
All right. Was this traffic stop recorded on a video recording device?
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to review it?
Yes, sir.
Is it a fair and accurate representation of what you witnessed that day?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to enter into evidence State's Exhibit 1 video from Officer Ramsire's body or helmet camera.
Any objection to State's Exhibit 1 being admitted to evidence? Mr. Bateman. Any objection, Mr. Bateman?
No objection. I can
Okay,
hear you. I'm sorry.
Exhibit 1, oh, no problem. State's Exhibit 1 is admitted to.
Robert Sam, 996 Lincoln Robert Sam. Well, I'm Officer Ramsire with College Station Police. Reason you stopped, you're driving 67 in the 45 construction zone here. Do you have your license and your insurance card?
Officer Ramside, do you think the defendant's speed was reasonable and prudent given the conditions at the time?
No, sir.
All right. And did you issue him a citation?
Yes, I did.
What was the citation for?
Speeding, 16 to 24 over the posted limit.
Did you write it for the construction zone as well, or just the speeding?
I just wrote it for the speeding.
Okay. Officer Ramsire, thank you for your time. Your Honor, pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Bateman, this is your chance to ask questions of the officer. It's not a chance to testify, but a chance to ask any questions you might have.
Okay, officer, you say you train on your LiDAR detection, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, could you briefly explain to me what's the procedure to, I guess, test the accuracy of your LiDAR on the day of use?
Sure. When I come on shift in the morning, the first thing I do is I power it up, which then initiates a self-test with the device. Once it passes the self-test, I do a known distance test as well as a side alignment test. And then from there, throughout the day, after every traffic stop I make with it, I reinitiate the device's self-test. So it continually self-tests throughout the day as well.
So what is that calibrated against, just itself? So what is the calibrator in that? Or
I'm
does it
not
have
responsible for the calibration, so I can't answer that.
So is it a due date on whenever it's calibrated, or how often is it calibrated or certified?
I don't know. You'd have to ask the engineers or whoever developed it.
Okay, so basically it's no calibration or any document showing that it's truly accurate. Do you like document anywhere before your shift start or after your shift start that the self-test has been accurate and something you could present to show the accuracy of that instrument?
No, but if it doesn't perform the tests the way they're supposed to and pass them, then it goes out of service and it's not even used, and it's sent back to be fixed with whatever error happens with it.
Okay, so basically it's tested against itself.
But yeah, it runs a self-test, and then I test two known distances as well as the side alignment on the heads-up display.
Okay, on that video you showed, you previously testified that I was pulling away from other vehicles, but I don't see on that video that I was pulling away. It looked like I was, you know, hand in hand with them. So I didn't get that from that video. And also I didn't see anything on your video showing the speed that you stated. So is it anything to show the speed that you said I was going? Do you have any type of proof or documentation showing that that's the speed that you clocked me at?
Yes, sir. I took a picture of it using the citation writer, and it's documented. A shot of the laser, it says 67 miles per hour at 1,093 feet.
Is it possible I can see that, or could it be presented to the court?
Well, I don't have that kind of, that's not my purview to provide it like that.
Oh, well, okay, well, it's basically,
Well, before you go on, Mr. Bateman, Mr. Midgley, do you have that item?
Yes, I can pull it up on the screen. 1 second. It's on my other computer, and I'd have to open GEMS on this computer, so it's easier if I just email it to myself and then open it that way.
okay, while he doing it, can I ask a few more questions, Judge?
Okay, well, no, let him do that, since you, Mr. Bateman, you want to see that picture, right? So let him do it. The prosecutor needs to be able to pay attention to what's going on. So if he's
Okay.
doing something.
Yes, Judge.
All right, here we go. Let me go screen share on this. And I can zoom in.
Well,
All right, very good, Mr. And officer, that is the picture that you took?
but
Hold on, Your Honor. My screen has a bunch of pop-ups that covered it up for some reason. Let me minimize and scroll it over real quick. Yes, sir, that's it.
All right, Mr. Bateman, continue.
well, my question with that picture, sir, how is that linked to me? It's just a picture. To me, it can be a random picture. I don't see how.
All right, if that's your, and again, you have to just ask questions. You'll get a chance to testify. But
Okay.
officer, if you could answer that question, how is that linked to me, Mr. Bateman?
Okay, Officer Bremser or prosecutor?
Wait a minute, you asked that question. Officer, do you want to answer?
Oh, I
Yes,
thought you
sir.
said to restate it. I thought I was restating it. Okay.
Yes, sir. So based off of me observing the vehicle and estimating the speed to be 65, and then in the heads-up display of my laser, the reticle was on the front bumper of Mr. Bateman's truck as it came towards me. And in the heads-up display, that 67 and 1093 is in my heads-up display. And that's how I verified that that vehicle was going that speed at that distance. And then from there, I release the trigger and it locks it onto that screen that's shown in the ticket there.
That wasn't my question. My question was, sir, from the picture, is it a way that you can show that picture and my truck coming down the highway so it can be tied to me so you can say that's exactly my speed, because that picture is standing alone individually. So is it a way to show that screenshot and my truck simultaneously?
No, the picture of what was shown is the picture that exists.
So your answer is no.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Are you familiar with that section of highway, Mr. Bremser?
Yes, sir.
Have it been, I guess, an increased number of accidents there?
I'm sorry, did you say an increased number of accidents?
Yes, sir.
I don't know the stats on the accidents there.
Okay. Have there been complaints or call about speeders in that area?
I don't know about specific calls, but we have been sent out there specifically to work speed violations in that construction zone.
Okay. And also, that stretch is kind of the end or beginning of the FM 2818 highway. It's like, because it's like right at F&B Road and I guess Harvey Mitchell, but I guess going a little more north of that, it's like a long strip of highway 2818, correct?
Well, the 500 block of Harvey Mitchell is kind of in the middle of FM 2018 that runs through College Station and through Bryan.
Okay. Judge, I asked, can I share my screen of that intersection?
You're on
Okay.
mute, Your Honor.
You're on mute, Judge.
You're on mute.
Spillane.
I got it, yes. I mean, you have a photo or something you want to show the officer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm trying to see, how do I do screen share? I don't see it on my screen.
Hit share screen.
Oh, I see it at the bottom. How do I go to my desktop?
You have to pick on your screen what you're sharing to us.
Can y'all see my screen?
No.
I push. Can you see it now?
Nope.
I don't know how to. I'm hitting share screen. Oh, there it go.
Then you got to pick what's on your screen you're sharing. There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
All right,
Okay.
we have a picture of F&B Road assigned. Okay.
That's the picture of F&B Road. Are you familiar with that, officer?
Hold on one sec, sir. I gotta expand out your window here. Yes, that's the traffic light for FMB Road and Harvey Mitchell Parkway.
Okay. Oh, and this Harvey Mitchell Parkway also?
It's kind of hard to tell, but it is Harvey Mitchell Parkway. I can't say for certain what intersection
Okay. Okay.
based off of that photo.
All right. Well, I guess that's the end of my questioning.
All right, Mr. Midgley.
Officer Ramside, where does the speed zone change? Do you know on 2018, where does it reduce down to 45?
So if you're coming southbound, it is just south of the Harvey Mitchell Parkway and FMB Road intersection.
All right. And Your Honor, if I could go back, if I could screen share the video again, I just want to go back and ask the officer some questions about when he measured the speed.
Sure. Are you able to end it, or does he have to end it?
I think he has to end it, or you can end it for him.
Okay, I can stop it. Okay.
There we go.
Go ahead.
All right. Officer Ramsire, the screenshot or the, I've paused the video here. This is where you were sitting when you measure the defendant's speed with your laser?
Yes, sir.
All right. And is this the defendant's vehicle right here where my mouse is?
I believe so, but my screen's pretty small on this
That's
computer.
the general direction of where the defendant's vehicle was?
Yes, that's about the spot in this video, like where your mouse was, where I began to observe his vehicle.
Okay. And is this just before you put your laser down, right after measuring the defendant's speed?
Right. As soon as I got the locks, the verify with the laser, I put it back in the holster on the bike.
And so I can see on my screen, can you see what the speed reads and what the distance reads on your laser?
Let me make it bigger. It's kind of dark on my screen, but I can make out the 109 for the beginning of the distance.
All right. And is that the same as the picture? Well, let me continue with the video. So when you're writing that traffic stop and when you took that picture that was on the citation that you wrote to Mr. Bateman, the image he questioned you about there being a connection to his vehicle and it being a standalone image, when did you take that picture? Was it during this traffic stop?
Yes, it was. So if you look at the traffic stop itself, I make what we call two passes. The initial contact is the first, and then I come back, finish the paperwork, and then go back up the second time and have him sign it and close it out. While I'm doing the administrative part on the ticket writer itself, I walk up and snap a picture with it before I print the ticket out and give everything back to him.
And this is the laser right here?
Yes, sir. That right there's me taking the picture of it.
All right. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bateman, any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, officer, you may step down on, at least virtually, and any more witnesses for the state?
No, Your Honor, the state rests.
All right, Mr. Bateman, the state has a burden of proof. You don't have a burden of proof. Also, you have a Fifth Amendment right not to testify, and if you don't testify, I won't hold that against you. But if you want to tell your side of the story or call any witnesses, you may at this time.
Yes, I'd like to, I guess, tell my side of the story, Your Honor.
Very, very good. If you could raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give in the case now and trial is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, if you could, in your own words, tell me whatever you feel is relevant.
Well, I was new to the area, and I was coming to, I guess, Fujifilm for training that day. And while I was coming in, you know, the posted speed limit, I think, was 55, going northbound, 50 or 55. And so that was what I had recalled. But I guess as I was leaving training that day, at that intersection, I was traveling, I guess, on F and D, or yeah, F and B, I guess, road going towards, I guess, Harvey Mitchell Parkway. And it was a couple of cars in front of me at that intersection. So I wasn't able, I guess, get a clear shot of everything posted because a couple of things was obstructed. Trees was obstructing, I guess, signage, and is another sign obstructing other different signage. And so I wasn't, I guess, familiar with the, I guess, if there was a reduced speed limit postage at the sign before I started going south on Harvey Mitchell, I guess, Parkway. And so I was trying to.
Are you saying that they were obstructed on F and B or Harvey Mitchell?
It was obstructed from the F and B, from my viewpoint on F and B road. And I was trying to see if I can share a screenshot with that to the court also.
Sure. I mean, it's open for you to share.
Okay. See, this is my view from F and B Road. Oh. This is my view from F and B Road, you know, turning onto, I guess, South Harvey Mitchell Road. So at the time, it's this 20 like by 15-foot sign blocking all postage right here. And it's like a red light that I'm stopped at. And so when the light turns green or whatever, or cars move and, you know, I guess go ahead, you know, I'm able to turn on to with what is Harvey Mitchell Parkway.
Right.
And at the time they had like barrels like on their right shoulder of the road, making you merge into the left lane. And so as I turn, I guess, south on Harvey Mitchell Parkway, you know, I'm checking my rear view and my side view for, I guess, cars coming from that long stretch of highway that's a little more north. And so, you know, the way I guess the sign is posted, it's kind of hard and dangerous to kind of merge over into that left lane, because I guess construction is kind of pushing folks to that lane of what they're trying to start work on, and I guess merge over trying to make sure I safely get into that left lane. So I was just saying the way the sign and things are posted, it is kind of hard to observe any speed limit postage at all, because this is my view. It's like I'm not coming from a long distance on Harvey Mitchell where I can clearly see any postage. I'm saying this is the view I have, and you know, there's no way that I was trying to break any law or speed sign, especially, you know, inside
What
the
was
city.
the speed limit on F and B? You remember?
No, it changes. Like I said earlier that day, coming in, I saw the sign, it was like 55, but you know,
On F and B or 2818?
on F and B, well, on
Right.
F and B, it's like a side road, and so I
Right,
think
so
it's like,
I'm just wondering, because if you don't see a speed limit, then when you make a right turn or whatever, aren't you supposed to maintain the same speed of wherever you were on, right?
yes, sir. So I
Okay.
don't recall the speed limit on F and B, but it's like a series of stop signs leading up to that point. So
Right, right.
there's no way I can get to a high rate of speed because I'm constantly stopping until I get to the main highway.
Okay, go on, yeah.
Okay. And so I was just trying to, you know, share my view of the highway because they all have like orange signs, road work ahead, and cones telling
Right.
you to kind of merge over. So I was just trying to share my view of what's going on and the way I was looking out and try to maintain, I guess, safe operation of my vehicle. And so that's
So
what I
what
was just
speed
trying
were
to
you
share.
going though? I mean, yeah, the state
Well,
lights were going 67.
Well, when I looked at my speedometer, I think I probably was going like right at maybe 50, 45, 50, you know, but you know, the way the road is made, if you look from the video, is like going down a incline, going down a hill. So I might have picked up a mile or two, give or take, plus or minus, you know, 2, 3 miles, but I don't recall going it. And in the video, I said I don't recall going that fast. So I don't recollect speeding at that high rate of speed.
Okay.
So that's my testimony.
All right, Mr. Midgley, any questions?
All right, Mr. Bateman, you put on a few pictures earlier. Would you mind bringing just those pictures back up?
Can y'all see?
No.
Yeah,
Okay, what you want to see, sir?
Just, yeah, I saw you had a slideshow. If you could just start the slideshow over. I just want to ask you about the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
We still can't see, or I can't see it anyway.
no, it's
No
not,
one?
it's not yet. If you could just go to those pictures you had, Mr. Bateman.
Screen share.
Yeah, just start with the first one. Yeah, there
Okay.
you go. There you go.
All right, you said you got on Harvey Mitchell at F and B. Is that
Yes, sir.
what you said?
Yeah,
Or you came to a stop at Harvey Mitchell and F and B.
I can't repeat that.
Did you say you got on Harvey Mitchell at F and B, or that you were already on Harvey Mitchell at F and B and you came to a stop there?
No, I was on F and B Road leaving Fuji Film. I was stopped at the intersection of F and B. I was turning onto Harvey Mitchell Road.
All right, and you said earlier in your testimony, you thought that the speed limit on Harvey Mitchell was 55, 50, something like that?
Yes, when I came in earlier that day, coming to, I guess, my training, I saw it coming, I guess, to training that morning. It was like 50, 55.
All right, and that would be coming from Bryan North? Is that where you came from? Or?
It's coming from, I guess, what's that, Highway 6, 290 or something like that.
So you passed through the construction zone to get to Fuji?
That morning, yes,
The
sir.
morning? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And did you notice that it was a construction zone at that time too? Or did you not notice that?
I noticed they were setting up, but there wasn't any workers present. I just, you know, assumed that maybe they worked at night when traffic is less, you know, I guess crowded.
But you saw all the cones and flags, and if you go to your next picture, it's that was why I wanted you to bring them up.
Well, coming in, it is like different sections that they're working on. So that's the next picture. Want me to go some more?
And so you can see the 45 in that picture, right? I mean, even in your own, I guess, even in your own exhibits, the 45 is posted. Is that right?
Well, that's going across. That's going
Oh,
across.
that's F and you're on F and B there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. And go to your next picture. Do you see the road work ahead sign with the flags and the orange diamond?
Yeah, I see the road work ahead.
All right, next picture,
Yeah.
please. That sign,
Yes, sir. I see it now. Yes.
isn't it pretty common for when there's road work for the speed to be reduced? Wouldn't you agree that,
Well, it's
that normally
coming
when
to,
there's,
it's coming to
but wouldn't
alert
you agree
you.
that normally when, there's construction on a roadway, that the speed is reduced?
Reduced from what?
From its, ordinary speed limit. It's
I
reduced
think it
from
should,
what it normally would be
I
had
think
there
it
not been
makes,
construction, right?
well, I think it should make you aware that, things are going to make you more alert in your driving. That's what
You
I
mean like
think.
a bright orange sign with flags?
Well, it should make you aware of, workers are present, construction going to make you be more aware of, how you driving. Yes, I believe that.
Okay, can you go to your next picture? All right, so the orange cones or the orange barrels there didn't cause you any concern about there being a speed reduction?
I don't think it should cause me concern. Like I said, it should make me,
But it didn't make you aware that you're in a construction zone and that the speed, despite it being posted and you not having seen it, might be reduced?
well, I believe that it just, make me aware that there's some work that's going to go on and be conscious of what I'm doing. But, but like I said, I still maintain a safe workout. I didn't pull off from any other drivers from the previous video. I wasn't driving recklessly, and I don't believe I was going at that rate of speed. So I can't adjust the speed or what I'm going to reduce the rate if I don't see a speed limit posted. So if I was aware of a speed limit, yes, I would be aware to
So
be
you're not
more
arguing
careful.
that you're not arguing that the speed isn't posted, you're just saying you didn't see it, right?
I don't know. I'm just saying that I don't,
Well, Officer Ramsar testified that it is posted for that construction zone. Are you saying that it's not posted or that you didn't see it?
did he say it was posted or did he just say he was aware that there was the speed? Because I
No, he
don't
testified that it was posted.
well, I don't know. You got to ask him.
No, I'm asking you, are you saying that the sign's not there? Are you saying the officer's lying, or are you saying you didn't see it?
I can't say the officer line. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I was
Well,
following what
I'm
I
not
knew.
asking you to say the officer's lying. I'm asking you to clarify whether or not you think whether or not the sign was there, or whether or not you didn't see it.
I didn't see the sign, so I can't say it was there. And
Okay,
to
so
my
you didn't see the
belief,
sign.
to my belief, it was not there.
And the officer testified you were going 67. You testified you were going 50. Is that correct?
That's what
You
I
thought
said.
you were going about 50?
Yes, sir.
All right. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bateman, anything further you want to add?
No, sir.
Okay, no other questions. I don't think I have any other questions. We can proceed to, well, so the defense closes, and what about the state? Do you have anything more?
No, Your Honor.
You want the picture still up or not?
No, I don't need them.
Okay. All right, then the state's probably going to waive opening close. We're going to have a closing argument. I know, Mr. Bateman, you just testified, but this is a chance for you to make a brief argument on why there's reasonable doubt as to whether you were going over 45 miles per hour on that road.
Well,
I have that right, 45, right? I believe. Yeah, okay. Why were you, where is there reasonable doubt as to you're going over 45 miles per hour on that road?
Well, it's reasonable doubt because the video that Officer Bremser produced is not showing where he clocked me and my truck and the radar.
Well, he testified that picture is of him clocking you. I mean, that's his testimony. You're right. you don't appear on it, but that, I mean, every photograph doesn't have a whole movie version of everything, right? So I'm
Yes,
just.
sir. Well, I
just
just
want
feel,
to make sure I'm not mistaking what you're saying. You're
Well, I
saying
just feel-
that that's just a picture of a speed, but he did testify that that was your speed, right?
yes, he testified that was my speed, but I feel like the state hasn't proved that beyond the shadow of a doubt that that was actually my speed.
Okay.
That's my closing testimony.
Okay. Anything else in your argument?
No, sir.
Okay. And again, just so you know, and then I'll let the state make their argument, but the state doesn't have to show intent. And it's true that, if there were no sign, well, anyway, I'll let the state give the closing argument on notice, speed, and whatever else you want to talk about.
All right, Your Honor, I believe you should find the defendant guilty because I believe this case is proven beyond all doubt, not let alone reasonable doubt. You can see Officer Ramsire, measure his speed with the laser. You can see the speed.
So are you raising your standard?
I'm not raising my standard, but I'm thinking I proved beyond what the law requires. I think I proved beyond a reasonable doubt in this case, and that beyond all doubt that the defendant was speeding. You can see the whole traffic stop's recorded on video. You see Officer Ramsire checking the speed of vehicles. You see when he checks the defendant's vehicle, you can see he's at the front of a pack just as Officer Ramsire testified. When Officer Ramsire drops his laser slightly in that video, you can see, if I can pull it back up, you can see the speed which Officer Ramsire testified he was, he measured.
I object to that, Your Honor. You cannot see that. It is not.
What is the objection?
You cannot see that. You cannot see that.
We'll let the trier of fact see that. I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead.
It's hard to pause. I did it earlier, but it's kind of being jumpy. I gotta go pretty slow. See if it jumps. Oh, too far. Way too far. It's just a single frame, and I'm trying to find that one single frame.
When his motorcycle turns.
Well, just where he drops the laser, and it's in frame, and you can see.
Can you freeze it right there? Is right there.
Your Honor, if I could have my closing argument without the interruptions of the
I'll
defendant.
sustain. Yeah, just Mr. Bateman, let him speak, and if you have an objection after that.
It's there, and I encourage you to check it. I can make this copy available, but
I can look.
if you go frame by frame, let's see.
You think you can see it when you hit play, or it goes too fast?
It goes pretty quickly when you hit play, but I'll let it go. But it is visible if you go frame by frame. I'm not sure how to do frame by frame in this. If it's possible, frame by frame, and
but you're arguing that it's there, and also the
it's there. I'm saying it's there, and you can view it when you go frame by frame. I mean, I don't want to take up more of the court's time trying to figure out how to make it go frame by frame. I was able to stop it earlier, but besides that, you see, I mean, it's a continuous video from when he lasers him, starts his bike to pursue him. You see the defendant's vehicle there. He's obviously slowed down since seeing the cop.
I saw a 45.
Right. That was going to be my other. the 45 here, which that's the second posting, I believe, in that construction zone.
I object, Your Honor. I
That's
What
object.
is
First
the
one.
objection?
It's after the fact. It's after he already done pulled out on me. I hadn't even
Okay.
made it down there to see that posting.
And I'll overrule the objection because that goes to the weight. And yes, I'll be able to determine where that is. I don't think the state's saying that, I think the state argued that's a second, but I'll overrule, but it goes to the weight, not the admissibility.
You see him make the traffic stop, talk to the defendant, get his information, his driver's license. Just as Officer Ramsar testified, he made his first pass, went back to take care of the administrative part of writing the citation, walks back up to his bike and takes a picture of the laser, which is the picture that we have on the citation. And so not only do we have an image of the laser that Officer Ramsar used to capture the defendant's speed with the defendant's speed on it, we have a video of him doing that so that you know that it's the same picture.
I object, Your Honor. I object.
What is the objection?
They don't have a video of me in the same shot as the radar detector. So
Okay, I'll overrule. I mean, that's an argument factually, but I will note that the nature of the danger out there, traditionally, there were no pictures. Now we have pictures. Now there was a day when we didn't have any photos, videos, car things. And so, I will note everything. There's no quantum of evidence, but I'll note, Mr. Bateman, that in your argument, you said there's not, your face or you are not in the picture with the laser thing. At least I'll note your argument. Go ahead, Mr. Midgley.
The point I was trying to make with that is that the defendant actually is in the video of Officer Ramsar taking a picture of the laser and is in the same video where you can see the laser. So there's no, I guess, doubt that the image of the laser is the same image, is the same one as Officer Ramsar used to check the defendant's speed.
Okay.
And then just to the reasonableness of the speed, the defendant zone exhibits show multiple traffic cone barrels, orange flags warning you of road work ahead. You can see in Officer Ramsar's video that there is construction activity.
What is the legal objection, Mr. Bateman?
That's irrelevant to the charge. We all know there's construction zone, but there's not a charge by me driving through a construction zone.
Well, I'll overrule. The state can use that in an argument because that's a factual thing of the evidence that we heard. So the state can certainly discuss the construction zone. Go ahead.
Right, you can see the construction zone. You can see there's workers present. There's a truck immediately south of Officer Ramsar when he first is checking the speed. He turns back to the left here just before he looks back. You can see there's a truck there with workers. It's got flashing lights. This is an active construction zone with workers on it. The speed is reduced to 45 during that time, and given that the defendant was traveling 67 miles an hour in a 45 mile an hour zone, I ask that you enter a conviction and fine the defendant the maximum $200.
Mr. Bateman, don't you? How is your driving record?
Over a period of maybe 15 or 20 years, I probably have gotten maybe 3 tickets, and that's all like highway driving, like on major highways, nothing inside the city.
Don't you think it goes kind of, I mean, you're the one that brought up the argument that somehow, first of all, like I'll say, historically, there's no requirement that the police take photographs of the laser thing. I find it interesting because, like I said, defendants used to bring that up, and you know, or they want to go see it. And, you know, it's understandable that it's not safe. But here we do have a videotape of him talking to you and then going, and we have all this. Doesn't that go, I mean, if that's your argument, doesn't that really hurt everything when we actually have that on videotape? I mean,
Well, if you
I'm not sure what, I just want to be clear what you're trying to argue, because, I mean, are you having any doubt that that's the laser that occurred right there when, right before
yes,
the
sir.
officer stopped you?
Yes, sir. I have doubt because if you look at the video, when he approached my vehicle and said something, I said, I don't believe I was going that fast. I told him that. And also I have doubt because when officer testified, he said I was pulling away by myself from other vehicles. If you clearly see it, it's multiple vehicles going through, I guess, his sight line, his vision. So it's no way from this video to pinpoint that's me that he zeroed in on. And so, and it's also going against him saying that I was.
Oh, but I thought you said that it wasn't 67. So you're not doubting that someone was going 67. You're saying it's not you.
I don't know. I'm not arguing that case. I'm just speaking from me. I don't know who that 67 is for. You can't.
Okay, well, that's a
from that
different
video.
argument, and that's good. I'm glad I asked you, because that's a different argument. If you're saying it wasn't you, and you're saying it's someone else. Okay.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying from his video. I don't know exactly what you asking me or where you trying to get at. I'm just trying
No,
to
I'm
answer.
I'm not asking a trick question. And you understand that, you know, whether you looked or saw or not, whether you knew what the speed is not an element the state has to show, right? I mean, you understand that the state just has to show that the signage was there and that you were going over, right? Because that, I mean, people could spill coffee on their legs and not, or a child could be crying and they're not necessarily going to catch the sign. I mean, you know, the state just can't prove that.
Yeah, I understand it, but the state hasn't showed the sign was there. What the state showed in their video is the sign is down past where I'm coming from, and when he's pulling me over,
I understand you're arguing that. I mean, obviously,
I just want to object to the defendant's characterization of the evidence. Officer Ramsar directly testified that sign is posted north of where he's sitting, and so that the defendant would have passed.
I'll overrule the objection, but obviously, yes, I understand you're both arguing, and I'll have to ultimately decide. I understand that the state did present evidence in several different forms, testimony, pictures, and I think there's a general rule too, that whatever speed you're going from one to the other, the speed applies until you see something differently. So it's not like and I didn't hear anything, Mr. Bateman, that the speed limit was 65 miles per hour on F&B. So
no,
I didn't hear what it was.
I testified earlier coming in that it was like 55, sir.
You said 55 on 2818. You didn't testify 55 on F&B.
No, on F&B, I was saying that there were stop signs throughout. So
I know that, but I'm just saying that there's a principle of law that if I'm going 35 miles per hour and I make a right turn, I can't just suddenly go 70 miles per hour just because there's not a sign. Right?
No, I understand that, but also,
you know, okay. But I didn't know if you did understood, but I didn't hear the state argue too much about that, and that's not the most important argument, because obviously the state has testimony that there's signage. But you know, I'm just saying that, you know, I'd have to jump, even if I thought that there wasn't signage, I'd have to make the jump that there's that somehow you could suddenly go faster making a right turn. And
well, I just feel, you know, I guess from driving, you know, even if you turning on or getting onto a major highway, you kind of increase your speed to go with the flow of traffic. And then once you see the speed limit, you know what's, you know, I guess the sign posting to go there, but to merge on,
that's an honest answer.
You're gonna have to kind of get into the flow of traffic.
Right, and on major entryways to highways, there's supposed to be a speed limit sign, but that's an honest answer. I understand that. I just wanted to get that through. Okay, well, I have both sides argument. I'm not trying to and I will look at, since the state, please send me the video.
I did pull it back up and was able to go frame by frame here, so I don't know if you noticed, but that it is. Well, let me get the mouse off, and I can go back a frame. And that's him lowering the laser to start his bike and pursue the defendant.
There's no
And are you-
different from what you already.
Just say what
posted.
you're showing, though. I'm not.
Oh, I was showing the laser. You can see the 67 on the laser
Gotcha,
when
okay, okay,
when he lowers it. So let me go to
okay.
fourth.
I
So
gotcha.
right here, and I don't know how clear it is through the
I
Zoom
thought you were
screen
trying to
share.
show the speed sign or something.
No, right here, if you look on the laser right here,
Okay,
as he lowers it, you can see the 67 pretty clearly in that shot there, down at the bottom. Once the
but on your pictures, you're not able to see the first 45-mile-per-hour sign?
it would be up past the bridge,
Okay,
which is where Officer Ramside testified it was.
that sounds good. Yeah, yes, I know we have the decimal. All right, well, we'll conclude. Mr. Bateman, if I find you not guilty, the case is over. If I find you guilty, then you'll owe a fine and court costs, which I will make due in 30 days, so you won't immediately owe it. But I would give today is Thursday. I should have a decision by Tuesday of next week, okay? Probably Monday, but and Tamika or Cindy will call you. I think Tamika called you this morning. They'll call you and let you know. But if you're wondering or what, or somehow we don't get in touch with you, call. But it won't be due immediately if I find you guilty. Okay,
Yes, sir.
it'll be due in 30 days. All right.
So can I ask one more question? If you
Yes.
do find me guilty, is it possible to pay in installments? Because, I just started back to working and, I have been off for like a year or two because of COVID. And so I'm just still trying to dig myself out of debt.
Yeah, I mean, making you pay in 30 days is a payment plan. Are you saying that you couldn't pay in 30 days or you would need like 60 days or something?
Yes,
Because
sir.
if you go beyond 30 days, I think it's $15. There is a time payment fee. So but if you want me to, I will make it due just since we talked here. And I'm not prejudged. If I find you not
Okay.
guilty, you won't owe anything. But if
Yes,
I
sir.
find you guilty, I will make it, in this case, since you told me that, I'll make it due in 60 days. Is that okay?
Sir. Yes,
And
sir.
obviously, communication's good with us, just like I appreciate you're here. We didn't do a failure to appear. The state, I appreciate they didn't file it because it's really up to them. And so just communicate with us because I want you to get it done with. Obviously, I don't want it around for a whole year and stuff because that's not good for you or us. I mean, but I will make anything that I decide due in 60 days since you understand the time payment fee, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, very good. Well, I appreciate, thank you, officer, being here twice. And I appreciate, I'm gonna recess this now and I appreciate everyone that's here, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.